Peace, guys. It's your boy Ebro, the Andy Star, host of the DiehardKnicks podcast, man. We are at the half at the Bucks game. According to the game channel here, man, the Knicks are up 61-45 at the half. That's 3 games in a row right now that the Knicks played well in the first half. And I talked well about them at this halftime show, but then the second half has been a tale of 2 different games, man. So it is what it is. We're doing this on the fly. I'm watching the game. I've been watching it on my phone while I'm doing various different things, trying to get my kids to bed. Bunch of stuff going on here, man. But this is the DiehardKnicks podcast at the half. Where's it at? Where's it at? Let's go. Yeah, so we're back here, man. DiehardKnicks at the half. The Bucks, like I said, the Knicks are up 61-45, man. So let's just get into like the basic box score stuff, man. So I got it for you here. You can follow me on. Let me take some of this banners and stuff out of here. Take this branding out just so you guys can see a little bit better. Like I said, I'm kind of doing this on the fly, man. This is always wanted to do a halftime report, man. So this is what you're gonna get from me, man. So anyway, cleaned up the screen, man. So let's get right into it, man. 61-45. That tells a tale right there. Like I said, first 3 games the Knicks have been doing the same thing for the first half. They're executing Tom Thibodeau's game plan to the T, man. They've been letting guys that are supposed to score, and basically handling the rest of the team. Take a look what's going on with the Bucks right now individually. Brook Lopez only has 2 points. Holiday, okay, well that's at top 3. DiVincenzo only got 2. DJ Augustine is on his nut with 0. Bobby Portis has 5. Connigan, whatever how you pronounce his name, has 2, and nobody else has scored on that team. So I mean, they have a lot of shooters on their team. They have a lot of guys that are skill players and whatever, but the Knicks have seemed to contain them. The top 3, Holiday has 8 points. Chris Middleton was the leading scorer with 16, and I said Giannis, he only had 10 points, man, and that's the tell right there, because I was expecting Giannis to just go crazy on Randall. We'll talk about that matchup in a second, but I just thought that he was going to completely dominate it. But 10 points at the half, I could deal with that. 8 rebounds at the half, I could deal with that. And everything else is going on with his game, I could deal with that. Chris Middleton, I expected him to dominate Barrett, or whoever you want to say that was guarding him. Reggie Bullock and Barrett basically took turns guarding him. But I expected that matchup to be exploited. Chris Middleton is just a more experienced, savvy player compared to those 2 guys. So I expected it to be a little balanced there. Drew Holiday, I also expected him to get off too. But 16 points is like right around his average of what he's going to produce. So the Knicks are keeping him at his average. So I'm good with that. All the other stats aside, like I said, I could deal with that. Let's go to what the Knicks actually did. So I mean, we started the regular starters that we have. Reggie Bullock. He's a spot-up shooter. He doesn't really do nothing else. He runs the floor. He fills space and things of that nature. But, I mean, this 2 points, man, I'm kind of emphasizing points in this halftime show. But 2 points just doesn't cut it for a guy that's going to start, man. If you're going to have your starters, whatever, let's say like a team like the Bucks. The team like the Bucks, they have 3 guys that are top-heavy with scoring. But Brook Lopez and DiVincenzo are not complete slouches, man. Like, if Lopez and DiVincenzo was on the Knicks, they will be probably some of our top scorers on the team. We'll be relying on them to score if we had Lopez or DiVincenzo. So I mean, like a team like the Bucks, they do rely heavily on those 3 players, but the other guys can score too. Reggie Bullock is not one of those guys, man. I know he's averaged double figures in this league before, but you see his game. He's very elementary in his game, just very pro. Fundamentally sound, those type of things. But he doesn't really do much to impact the game if he's not shooting the basketball well. Randall, 1 for 7. He's playing against Giannis, man. So Giannis basically owns him. So Giannis locked him down, but he didn't lock him down all the way because he was able to get to the line 7 for 8. So that means that Randall was attacking. The entire game, Randall was attacking. It was still that's the beauty of it. The Knicks have an identity right now. Where the way that we run our offense and stuff like that, we've been very consistent running the offense. You can talk about individual contributions to the whole scheme of everything, but for the most part, the Knicks are running what they want to run. So it has to do with either point guard play or the guys not hitting open shots or guys not being aggressive or making the correct read. But we are running the offense. So when the offense does run, we end up with 61 points and a half, man. So kudos to the Knicks, man. The story of the night is on Elfrid Payton. This is a bounce back game, basically. So I guess he probably heard everybody talking junk about him for the first two games, and the thing with Elfrid Payton, it always takes him like 5 games, 10, sometimes up to 10 games, just to get his juices flowing. So his numbers tend to be trash in the beginning, and then he tapers off. He has a couple triple doubles. Next thing you know, his numbers start to teeter off to where it has been for his career, which is basically 10-6. So that's what he is, man. He's not really a starter. He's a backup guy, but he's a starter for us, man. So he actually played pretty good, and I'm surprised because Drew Holiday is a great defender. I can give him that great tag, and I just think they might have been taken off guard by him, but also too he did hit a 3-pointer that was amazing, but we were talking about it in our Yahoo fantasy league chat. Elfrid Payton doesn't shoot threes, man. So the whole argument was like if there's an open three, you should take it. He did take that three and he made it, whatever. But a guy like Elfrid Payton, you don't want him to take those threes. Okay, like if you got it, you got to take it, man. But 9 times out of 10, I want you to drive that basketball, make a basketball play. That's what you do. So that's what he actually did in this game, man. So I wonder if they're actually paying attention to us fans when we get on shows like this, man. Because Elfrid Payton did try to mix it up and find his game. That's what he just really needs to do. Just find your game. He doesn't need to do nothing more than that. He doesn't need to be Stephen Curry. Because you want to talk about guys that can pass the ball and distribute it, whatever. But people want Stephen Curry. So he's not going to be that. He's not going to be shooting open threes and chucking like that. That's not his game. But his game is closer to like a Ben Simmons without the height. So Ben Simmons doesn't have to worry about shooting threes. So why should Elfrid Payton? So as we go along, Mitchell Robinson, he's been having a solid, bounce back ever since like the first game where we got blanked out basically. This is what you expect from him: 5 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, his blocks. He did change a lot of shots. I'm surprised they didn't credit him with some extra blocks here, but he has no blocks according to the stat guide. And he actually had a good game, man. He's been sealing off the Knicks have been daring them to drive. So every time they drive, we meet them with three people. We have a guy that's guarding him. Then you have 2 guys that converge from either side. So the Knicks have been sandwiching the middle. So we've been kind of frustrating them a little bit. They've been getting layups, but they've been blowing it right at the thing. That's because of what Mitchell Robinson and shout out to Nerlens Noel because he also had a fairly decent game too. With what he's trying to do. The 2 guys here, man. RJ Barrett, is back. He had a bad game yesterday, so guys are entitled to have a bad game. It's a long season. You want guys to be consistent, but RJ Barrett did have a good game outside of him shooting bad. So it's not like he was lagging off on defense or he wasn't rebounding or passing the ball or just basic defending. He was still engaged in that way. So the same RJ Barrett, and he's engaged on the defensive end, still trying to pass the ball, move the ball. He's doing everything. But his strengths is a little bit too much for what the Bucks are trying to do to him in the first half. And he's basically doing what you expect him to do: 10 points in the first half. And those stats are basically, the way they should be across the board. So, good that RJ Barrett was able to get this bounce back. But, this is another guy that I love to talk about, Alec Burke. Where did he come from, man? Because, I followed him throughout I'm a big-time fantasy guy. And, I just love I love looking at stats and stuff like that. And I know I followed him. I picked him up and waived him a couple times in my fantasy league. So I don't really know too much about him. I saw him last year, because of what he was doing with Philadelphia and stuff. So I was intrigued by all that. But just to see him every day, the way he plays, he is a really good basketball player, man. So I feel like we're selling ourselves short by having him come off the bench. I know we're waiting for our firepower to come up because I can see what Tom Thibodeau's trying to do. You got to balance out the scoring because we don't have any. So having Alec Burke coming off the bench will kind of like keep guys out of foul trouble and keep that scoring balance, and we can get points through our defense and stuff like that, which we have been doing. So Alec Burke, man, as soon as Austin Rivers comes back, finally, not that this comes back, this finally makes his appearance. If Austin Rivers can make his appearance, then the Knicks might have a team here, man. Alex Burke, to me, the way he's been playing, he has 15 points, my man. 15 points, The other stats are going to come. He fills up the stat sheet. Not so dramatic, but he does fill it up. He can get to the line 4 for 5. Somebody that could score like this, shoot like this, and get to the line like this. So no, excuse me, that was 3-point shooting, man. 4 for 5 from 3. But he can get to the line too, man. That 1 for 2 is misleading. He definitely can get to the line. But he had a nice slip game, man. He just kind of just taking shots that are in the flow of the offense. But he's drawing attention, which I love, man. So I mean, having him in the starting lineup with RJ Barrett and also Randall, we'll have our own big three, quote unquote, and then Mitchell Robinson will be able to do what he does, and then we can lag off with a dude like Elfrid Payton for now until somebody steps up, or unless we make a move or something like that. I'll make a podcast about that, later on. But this is what it is, man. Frank Ntilikina made an appearance, and Knox he played okay too, man. I was checking out the plus and minuses. I was gonna make a joke about that, but at one point, Kevin Knox had the highest plus and minus, and he was 0 points, and he basically had no other stats, and he was like his plus and minus was like the highest of the team at the time when I was looking at it. So I just think that stat is funny, man. Frank Ntilikina's plus and minus was pretty high too during that time period. That's because they were featuring Barrett at the time, and the Knicks just basically had they were on a roll, So if that's the thing, that's why the plus and minus is such a flawed stat, because if the other 3 guys are playing well, then the other 2 guys, Knox and Frank, are going to benefit from that plus and minus stat. So that's just a flawed stat. I wish they would just get rid of it, because because they just need to. Yeah, man. So same thing with Knox and Frank. Nothing special. They just been doing what they've been doing. So it's definitely to the point now where I'm not going to trash on Frank anymore. I already dedicated one podcast to him. I was going to talk about Knox, but it's really not worth it. These guys are not impact players in the NBA. They are role players, and they have a role within the team. Frank is going to be a defensive guy. Knox right now, he's just a big 3-and-D guy. He might be able to surprise you sometimes with his athleticism, but he's not going to do much else other than that. And he's just offensive. He's just a guy that's in there, running the play. He's just running the play. So he's a backup, So he's a valuable backup. So like I said, I don't want to really screw with his just to talk about it. It's just too much to talk about. Too many bright spots to just talk about these 2 guys all the time, man. So. To me, it's been a great first half, man. I don't anticipate the Knicks shooting like this in the second half, because teams have been coming out at the half with a great game plan against what the Knicks were doing, and I think the Knicks have been shell shocked trying to fight against the other teams' matchup changes, right? So that's the next evolution of this team, but that's not really going to happen until we get some upgrades in the talent. So I mean, we got to get quickly back. I would love to see Jared Harper get out there, man. But it is what it is. I think Austin Rivers it will add definitely an upgrade in talent. So I'm looking forward to that, man. I would love to have him coming off the bench instead of Alec Burks, and having Alec Burks take that starting 2-guard spot, and let RJ Barrett bully those guys down low at the small forward spot. People keep talking about him because he's listed as a shooting guard. But just because he's listed as a shooting guard doesn't mean he has to stay there. I think he's dominant enough. What's his name? Chris Middleton looks bigger than RJ Barrett, but RJ Barrett is moving him. RJ Barrett is moving whoever's in front of him. DiVincenzo was trying to guard him, and he's like no match for RJ. So that's the tale of that half for me, and I just love it, man. I made a point on Sim's show, during the post game for the last game. I made a point is that like the Knicks have like a blueprint. I kind of like the way the Knicks are playing. I like Julius Randle with the point forward stuff. Let me get rid of this thing so you can see my beautiful face, man. I'm so beautiful. But anyway, I need to go to sleep. I'm so tired. But anyway, this is the thing with just the way that we set things up. I'm trying to keep an eye on things. I don't want to mess the game up for you guys. But Julius Randle, the way the thing that he does with passing the ball, grabbing rebounds, running full court, getting to the foul line, that type of thing, he's kind of setting the tempo and the pace of how we want to play. And then just the way that we run our offense, we are kind of running a pseudo triangle thing going on, man. So we're not doing a lot of traditional pick and rolls with the alley-oops to Mitchell Robinson. We're forcing Mitchell Robinson to play basketball. So he's doing a great job defensively, and he's doing his job as a center. So I love that. RJ Barrett, like I said, is bullying whoever's on him. You know, it doesn't even matter if the guy's bigger or smaller. He's just taking advantage of that person, whoever's in front of him. And you know, like I said, I really like Alec Burke, and I want him to be the starter. So I mean, guys got to get healthy, and then we'll see what happens. Elfrid Payton, the way that he played today, this is what we need. You know, this is what we need from him. We need him just to play his game. Stop trying to be who you're not. You're not that guy, man. So don't be that guy. You know, just play your game. You've been doing this. You've been playing long enough. 10-6 is what you brought in. You've averaged more than that in your career, even though you haven't won. But you still have that experience. So use your experience and just play the game, man. And that's good enough for us. Until somebody steps up, like we're waiting for quickly to do that. We might end up making a trade or maybe even waiving somebody and signing somebody. I've been mentioning that too, man. So it's interesting, man. So I can see they're getting ready to start the second half. So I'll end the podcast here, man. So thank you guys for tuning in. This has been DiehardKnicks at the half. I see guys chiming in. Let me shout you guys out before I get out of here. We got Knicks community is here. Knicks community is going to be on the show probably more often. But like tonight, I was going to hit him up, but I got busy, man. He's talking about scoring efficiency. We got Sim is here. I mentioned Sim earlier. You know, so I'm gonna try to get on the show later, man. Sim, what else you saying? Let's see if the Knicks can keep that intensity in the second half. We'll see, man. I already talked about the coaching. Man, the game started already. Yeah, I already talked about the adjustments that the coaches are gonna make, man. We got Mr. Kev here, this Mr. Cornerstone. So anyway, guys, get back to the game. You know, hopefully the Knicks can win this one. That would be amazing, man. That would be a nice start to the work week, man. So anyway, this is Ebro to Any Star, host of the DiehardKnicks podcast. 4 fingers to the forehead, tucking the thumb. Salute. See you guys possibly tonight on Sim Show or possibly in my bed. All right, peace, guys.